Hey guys, welcome to ErebosGamingHD. So, with this series, what we're going to be doing is running through the legacy mode. I'm going to be doing it on greatest of all time. I'm just fast forwarding this stuff now, so this is a talk over. I'm just going to make my character, making him quite tall. I've already got a legacy mode character created. I think he's already the champ, but he hasn't got these sort of builds. I'm used to playing, if you've seen my other videos, shorter characters that can get on the inside and do damage. This guy's going to be sort of far away, and I can get away with it really because I'm only fighting against the computer, so it doesn't matter if I'm a bit sweaty with it. So I'm just going to call it whatever I want, E-Gaming G.O.A.T, and this is normal time now. So as you can see, that's greatest of all time mode. Nothing else has really changed other than that. So let's get into it. So guys, here we go. I'm Sweaty McSweaterson, big tall guy, 80-inch reach, just going to be jabbing and straightening the face off. Now, one thing, a bit of a disclaimer with this, I might not get knockouts for this part here, these amateur parts. It's a bit different than when you play champion mode. When you play the champion mode, it's you start off with better base stats, basically, so you can get those knockouts on them first fights. However, when you play on legacy mode, your character's much less powerful at the start. Your skills are pretty much at the minimum, so knocking people out in the first few fights is quite hard done to. So I'm just going to play this to make sure that I get a win. There's no restarting these fights if you lose, so you've just got to win basically. So that's my plan. So with these fights originally, as you can see, I just need to win the rounds. As long as I get more punches off than him, I'm going to go for around 200 punches by round 2, and then hopefully there should be no way back. This will be the longest episode, I would imagine, of the whole series, purely because it's 3 fights in one. Perhaps maybe when I do the 12-round fights later on, they might take similar amount of time. But this is going to be all 3 of the amateur fights in one. Part 2 will be my first fight. Part 3 will be my third fight, etc., etc. So yeah. So like I say, not much to really talk about here, to be honest with you. I'm just going to try and make sure I jab his head off, and they're going to be the skills that I work up. Get my straight full, my jab full, my block about halfway, and then at that point, nobody should be able to get close to me. So I'm getting a little bit close to this guy, to be honest with you. I probably shouldn't be getting this close, but the whole point is just to make sure I get more punches off. It doesn't really matter. He's not going to knock me out, that's for certain. So as long as I get more points than him, I should be fine. So same old, same old. And I think the legacy mode on this probably a little bit overlooked, to be honest. I didn't used to like it much for the pure fact that when you schedule a fight, you have to wait like 5 or 6 weeks, and it schedules fights, and it's all that crap, and it's just a big kerfuffle, waiting, simulating fights and stuff. I don't understand why the game can't just automatically just say, right, this guy won. I don't know why it has to so-called simulate the fight, because it's just, I don't know why it's like that. Maybe it's because it's an older game, I'm not quite sure. But I'm starting to enjoy this a lot more than I enjoyed the champion mode, and anybody that's watched the champion mode run through and seen the whole Isaac Frost fight and all that, it pisses people off. In all honesty, it really annoys people that the campaign, and especially the last boss. So I think legacy mode's a nice little alternative to that, because you can make your own character, you go through the career as you want to, and it's just fight after fight after fight. There's no handicap, and there's no stupid stuff that you have to work around. So that's why I quite like this. So yep, just as you can see, jab, 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 straight, straight. That's all I'm doing. I don't need to do anything special. I don't need to go for any spectacular knockouts. As I said, you can't restart these fights, so you'll see when I come to the championship fights, I'm going to have to just make sure that I win. The knockouts will come, naturally, and I will show you a little bit of a trick when you play this. Now, it's not so much of a trick, it's just more of knowing fighting styles. Like, for example, I'm a tall character with a long reach and a good jab straight. Well, I will be later on. And when I start to schedule fights, I'll start to choose characters that are brawlers, inside fighters, and anything around that, I'll try and stay away from counter punchers, and I'll try and stay away from outside fighters, because those ones are going to be the most deadly to my sort of character style. So even if, for example, somebody's ranked slightly higher but he's an outside fighter, you know, in the later stages of this legacy, I'll probably go for the guy that's the inside fighter, and those will where the knockouts will come. You know, when I'm fighting an inside fighter, I'll be knocking them out. If I'm fighting an outside fighter on greatest of all time on this mode, you know, you're going to have a hard chance. You know, you're going to be hard done by, because they barely throw punches, and you know, when you do throw punches, they're countering your back. You end up running out of stamina, and it's really difficult. So what you'll see me do is, you know, go through the game, the outside fighters and the you know, the counter punchers that I have to fight, I'll play them very tactically and make sure that I don't run out of stamina and the jump on them at the end. With inside fighters, I'll just go at them from the off and just jab and straight the face off, and you know, make sure I get the win and more than likely get the knockout. So looks like this is first win to me. That'll do. So next one. So they landed a higher percent of punches, their punch stats were better, and the thing is, if I'd have fought like that for the whole fight, and it was like a 10 round fight, then the computer would have won that fight, in all honesty, the way that I was fighting. But in these first amateur fights, you've just got to play the boxing match. So if it's 3 rounds, throw as many punches as possible, just get punches on them, and as long as that your number is higher than theirs, you'll win. That's all you need to worry about. Don't worry about your stamina, don't worry about anything else, just make sure you've got a higher number than they have, and you'll win the amateur tournament. So it's not about knocking them out at this point, it's about winning the fight. So yeah, that was disastrous boxing, and it will be this fight, and it will be the next fight. It'll be just disastrous, crappy boxing. But the reason why I'm doing that is because I just want to make sure that I get more punches off than they do. Because in a normal fight, for example, you can fight really well, but you know, it might not pay off or whatever, you know. So it's just a case of, if I was to fight really technically here and try and just do damage to him, then there's a chance that he could just start wailing punches and then end up getting more punches than I do, and then I'm going to have nowhere coming back. Whereas, you know, if I just throw punches like I'm doing, as you see, jab straight, just keep lamping them on his head, just make sure my number's higher, and then, you know, I don't have to worry about anything else. So you know, I'll show you some more of how you'd box greatest of all time, because this is harder than champion mode. You know, make no mistake about it. This is much more difficult than playing, you know, champion, the campaign. So, you know, if you want up for a little challenge, which I was, so I thought, yeah, I'll do this. I didn't think people would really want to see this. I thought it'd be a little bit boring for people to watch the legacy mode, but then in hindsight, I thought to myself, well, you know, this basically is champion mode, but a bit more difficult, so why wouldn't people want to see it? So that was the whole thought process going into this. And, you know, to be honest, it isn't greatest of all time. As I said in my campaign run through, I said that in greatest of all time they barely throw punches, and that's the most annoying part about greatest of all time. They'll block and they'll block and they'll block some more, because it's as if the computer knows you'll gash yourself out, and then they jump on you at the end, and then, you know, all of a sudden a fight that you thought you were winning has now become an impossible fight. So to be honest, my stamina's looking a lot better this fight than it was in fight 1, but still I'm just going for the same thing. I'm not going for the knockout, I'm just going for them punches, getting loads and loads of jabs off, loads of straights off, the odd sidestep hook, and this guy is getting absolutely demolished. You know, this sort of fighter that he is, though, would be perfect if it wasn't an amateur fight like this. If it was like a 6 or 10 rounder, then I would edge my bets on me knocking this guy out, because he's coming in fast, he's coming in low, and it's really easy to step back straight jab, or step back jab straight, sorry, or side step hook. It's really easy to do against these sort of fighters. You can see he's just throwing before he even properly gets into range, and that's exactly what you want. And on greatest of all time, these sort of fighters are few and far between. You know, most people on greatest of all time are, you know, counter punchers, outside fighters, or boxer punchers, and they can be quite dangerous, the boxer punchers, but they're, you know, significantly easier than a counter puncher or an outside fighter. I remember on my other legacy mode other than this, I fought a guy on obviously it was greatest of all time, and it was a an outside fighter, and it was so close. I mean, we'd knocked each other down like 3 or 4 times, and that's the thing with greatest of all time. They always seem to get up like 4 times as well. It's, you know, they make sure you work for it, and we both went down like 4 times, and I only just won. And then the next fight was a fight against, I could choose between Eddie Chambers and Butterbean. It was coming towards the top 10s, and obviously Butterbean's sort of an inside clumsy fighter. I chose him, and even though it was the fight after the previous one, I think I KO'd him in round 1 or 2, which goes to show that it's all about the styles. It doesn't necessarily increase in difficulty as you rise up the ranks. It's more about the fighters that you pick and how hard you want to make it for yourself. So I'm going to try and play this in a way that if you're watching, you might want to go and play and use the sort of skills. I'm not going to say, you know, I'm going to do this and make it as difficult for myself as possible. That might be a bit more enjoyable, but other people might not be able to learn anything from that because I'm just doing something which is pretty stupid. So I'm going to play this like you were supposed to, like you would be expected to actually do it properly. And part of that process is, you know, choosing which fights you take and choosing the best one to suit your sort of abilities, and obviously the training side of things as well. That should be funny, seeing how I handle the whole training and all that crap, because some of them are really annoying, some of them are quite fun, but you know, we'll have a see what they're like. I haven't done them for a long time. So this guy, I'm just piling on the pressure now. You know, as I said to you, if this was a 6 or 10 round fight, you can see just by his health that he would have been knocked spark out, no doubt about it. And that's just by the style that character was. You know, if I had a few more rounds at him, I'd have done much better, and possibly have been able to knock him out in the next round. I probably could have knocked him down then if I'd tried hard enough. Let's just hope that we get some more small inside fighters. You know, I don't want to be fighting, you know, big tall fighters all day, because that's going to just make it really difficult. And obviously, likewise, you know, guys, if you're an inside fighter, you want to be picking people that, you know, are, as silly as it sounds, perhaps bigger fighters, you know, of longer reaches, because if you're the actual player, then it's easy to get on the inside of the computer, because they'll often try and keep you at range, and when they do, you can sort of, you know, roll in and land a shot. Whereas, you know, when it's the computer on the other side, if they're a big character and you're a big character, they literally never throw. It's pretty ridiculous. And that's about it. I just wait till this loading screen finishes. We can get on to the next fight. Come on. So let's get into it. So we got 2 more fights left, I think. This fight and 1 more. This guy looks like he's going in quite a lot, so maybe I should be able to go knock down on this guy. We'll have a see. See if he keeps on throwing, or whether he, you know, starts to sort of close up and not do anything. And, you know, the computer doesn't change depending on these amateur fights, so they fight as if it's like a 10 round or 12 round fight, so, you know, they still close up even though they've got no chance of winning unless they knock you out or something like that. They don't seem to have that built in the AI, so they just fight how they would fight regardless. So a trick or a tip that I could give for anyone doing this, and I won't necessarily get a chance to do it now because there's no use for it now, but when I come to the proper fights in the next episode, for example, I'll try and show you how you sort of entice them to throw the punches. If you just stand and you just keep throwing punches at them while they're on the ropes, they'll just tie up. They'll just basically keep their hands up and not do anything. So you're not going to get anywhere doing that. You're just going to be punching blocks. So what you do is you basically stay just in range, wait till they throw the punch, you move away, then you hit them, and then you walk away again. That's like the only way you can really do proper damage to them when you're playing greatest of all time, at least. So, you know, counter punching is the way forward when you get into the actual fights. And even though my character isn't an actual counter puncher character, he's just conventional, just a standard puncher, you know, counter punching's all on you. It doesn't matter if your character's designed to do it or not. It's all about you and how you actually counter punch. So I'm just filling his face full of jabs there. I don't know what he's doing, don't know what he's expecting to achieve. That was a nice power straight there. I'd expected that to have done more damage, but I guess that was another one. But I was expecting, you know, maybe a stun there. But this just goes to show, you know, the power that you've got in these early parts of the game on Legacy, it's just not enough to sort of hit people on critical stuns. It's just not enough to, you know, do significant damage in one hit. So it's all about throwing a lot of punches, making sure that you're ahead. So, I mean, you know, how we're at now, you know, I'm ahead by a fair few, and he's just getting absolutely lamped. And this is all it's about, really. It's just all about this. And you can see his health is dropping significantly, even without good power. And something like this, you know, as you can see, he's just holding up. He isn't doing anything. So I'm trying to just entice him to punch. You see, if I stand there and keep hitting him, he won't do anything. But then what you need to do is just step in range, hope for him to throw, and then land another one. That's basically how I sort of try and visualise it. So just more jabs, more straights. I'm going to try and knock this guy down. I don't think I'll knock him out. I've only got a round, but I'll try and knock him down, because I managed to get his health quite weak there. And if this was like a 6 or 10 round fight, this guy would certainly be getting knocked out. So just try and sort of backpedal a bit. Oh, I was expecting him to throw then when I moved back, but unfortunately he didn't. I'm just going to try and wail on him a little bit, just keep his guard up, and then hopefully he'll drop, try and throw at me, and I'll try and catch him with a good one. It's a little bit difficult at the minute. Oh, thought I caught him there. That was a bit silly of me. Oh, can't quite land it. There we go, got one there. See, if that was like later on when I've got a slightly bigger punch, that would have worked. Come on, another. Oh, yes, there we go. Sit down, boy. Got him down once. See, if this was a 12 round fight or 10 round, he'd definitely be getting knocked out. This guy's perfect for my style. You know, he's not going to go anywhere. Well, I'm never going to knock him out in 30 seconds, unfortunately. He'll get up like at least 3 times. I'm greatest full time anyway, so that's 10 seconds per knockdown. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So I got him down once, quite happy with that. You know, considering I wasn't originally going for anything like that. And this guy's getting absolutely leathered. Look at that. Jeez, wouldn't want to be his face in the morning. So next fight, this is the last one for the tournament, and then I think that'll be, end of video, till the next episode at least. And then in the next episode we'll have our first proper fight. Like I say, highly doubt I'll win that by knockout either. I think you're looking at, you know, a couple of episodes, maybe episode 3, maybe episode 4, then I should start knocking people out then, you know, quickly. If I can obviously knock people out in like round 1 or 2, then maybe I can squeeze more fights in. If it's just the one fight and it goes on points, and unfortunately I'll just have to show the fight. Depending on how it goes, I could cut the fight down and maybe put a couple of fights in, just shorten them down, maybe do highlights or something. I don't know, it depends. It just depends. If you put in the comments what you'd rather see, would you rather see me, you know, show the whole fight regardless, or, you know, cut down the longer fights, and that's fine, and just show the knockouts and stuff. It just depends how you guys would rather see it, really. So come on, let's go. Right, what's this guy's name? Rice. I'm gonna absolutely lever this guy. Just gonna try to get an absolute crap load of punches on him. He's similar to the last guy as well. I don't know if he's gonna throw as much. Looks like he is. Maybe I can get some knockdowns on this guy as well. Ooh, come on. Jab straight, jab straight. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm really doing at the minute is jab straight, and then the occasional sidestep hook, and that's all I'm doing. I'm not even worried about hitting him in the body, because their head movement's pretty terrible, to be honest. This is obviously the amateurs, so they're not as good. But to be fair, the computer don't really change that much regardless, you know, amateur, professional. I don't really get this part of the game. Don't really know. I think it's just to increase your popularity, your base popularity when you start, I think. I'm not entirely sure what this part of the game's actually useful for, because I know you can lose here and still carry on regardless. Maybe you start off a lower rank. But I can't say I've actually continued when I have lost here. I've only ever seen people lose here, really, on my PlayStation, and you know, it still lets them carry on, but I didn't pay attention to what really happens as such. It'd be nice to know if anyone else knows. Hey, who knows? I might get knocked out now. Who knows? But you know, by the looks of things, he's landed like 11 punches. It's not looking good for Mr. Rice. So more of the same, just keep jabbing him, just keep filling that face full of glove. And this guy, honestly, he may as well quit. It'd be interesting to see if I come across any of these fighters later on in the Legacy, you know, because obviously it simulates the fights like it would in like a FIFA tournament or any other EA game. So perhaps just by pure luck, these guys will win their simulated matches, and maybe I'll fight them, you know, near the championship or something. So just try and memorize the names. Well, not memorize the names, just take note of the names and see if any of them pop up again. It would be interesting to see that, actually. I'd be quite surprised if he did that, but pleasantly surprised if it would. So this is a 4-rounder as well. Actually, I've only just noticed that, in all honesty. So I've actually got an extra round to perhaps knock this guy out, so I'll go for it. I will go for it, but the more I punch, the lower his health gets, the less punches he throws, which is what makes it so difficult. It's not like I've got the power to sort of drop his health in 1 or 2 hits. You know, it's sort of a case of I need to get him to throw when he's on half health, and then just hopefully land a couple of clean shots. So, you know, maybe if his stamina went down, I'd be happy with that as well. You know, if he was to throw a few punches, his stamina was low, you know, I'd be able to capitalise then perhaps, but there, a few nice punches there, you know, more of that, and that'll be it. That'll be beautiful. Well on target, over 100 punches after round 2 as well. You know, so I'm well happy with that. He's absolutely nowhere near the punches. So this fight, as it's going, is already in the bag. So, you know, I can sort of go for a bit of a knockout now because he's not going to catch up to those punches. So let's just see if I can get one. Like I said, I don't know though, with how much he's holding up and with these head guards, I don't know if that reduces damage. It probably does. Come on. Hey, did you know that with boxing, in amateur boxing, you don't have to wear head guards anymore? It's not a requirement, at least in Britain anyway. It always used to be that amateur fighters used to have to wear a head guard. Now it's not compulsory. I don't know. You can probably make a choice whether to do it, but most places now, you know, you don't have to wear a head guard. You wear a head guard in the gym, just not when you're actually out in your actual fight. So let's see how this goes. Come on, let's land a good couple of punches. 30 seconds. I don't know. Maybe I should knock him down. I don't know about knocking him out. I was hoping to get him down by now, to be honest. Get him down this round, get him down twice next round. Hope he doesn't get up for the 4th, but I don't think he's even going to go down this round. No, he's not. God damn. Okay. So we've got one round. Let's try and just knock him down at least. Should be doable. And then after this, that should be it. After this fight, guys, in all honesty. It's been quite a long video. And I'll crack straight on with the next one. You guys, you'll see the next one when it's up, I'm sure. So, like I say, after this I'll crack on with the next one, and then get that edited and whatnot, and then bang that up so we can see the first proper fight. So, come on, knock this guy out. I'm just hoping to catch him with a really nice punch, but it's just not happening at the minute. And like I say, I just haven't got the power there. I just haven't got the power to end him. Come on. Jabbing him. In all honesty, I'm just going to be winning like by a landslide on points by the looks of things. I'm on like 200 punches thrown almost. This is just mental. So I've basically done what I said, you know, get 100 points. 100 punches in 2 rounds. I've done that consistently twice now, with obviously 200 on round 4. And actually over that, in all fairness, I'm going to be over that. There's the 200. You know, and this is, it's confidence boosting really, because now I know that, you know, I can outbox the computer throughout several rounds. I don't think they've won a round at all, and unfortunately I didn't get to knock him down, guys. I did try, you know, but you know, I just haven't got the power really. Haven't lost a round as well, like I thought. No, so that's good. So if I can keep that up, and yeah, it's going alright. That's the amateur tournament 1. We're still on Greatest of All Time. I'll only ever be playing on Greatest of All Time. So, yeah, I'll catch you on the next episode, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later.